Welcome back to part two of this mind blowing exploration into one of Squid Game's wildest and most compelling theories. In part one, we laid out the groundwork: Ilnam as the mastermind, Gi-hun and the front man as potential sons, and all the subtle clues that tie them together. But today we're going even further. We'll break down the hidden meanings behind key moments, analyze the implications of this potential family connection, and speculate on how it could shape season two. So buckle up, grab your dalgonia candy, and let's unravel the rest of this shocking theory. This is Upwards Reels, and the game continues.
Well, think about it. You've got these two brothers, right? And they're both in these games, but on completely opposite sides. Like one's trying to bring the whole thing down, and the other one's he's running it. And the thing that makes it even more intense is that neither of them even knows about their connection to each other. It's like this twisted family drama playing out right in front of us, but they have no idea.
That's definitely intense.
And there's something else that's really fascinating about the frontman's character, the way he interacts with Ilnam throughout the series. It's not just like a normal boss-employee relationship, you know? There's this unspoken understanding between them, this deeper connection that starts making so much more sense if they're actually father and son.
So, I noticed something really weird when I was rewatching the show. All three of them have this thing about milk.
Yes, this is actually one of the most fascinating pieces of evidence we have, and it's so subtle that most people completely miss it. Gi-hun specifically mentions that he can't drink regular milk because it upsets his stomach, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. Ilnam makes literally the exact same comment.
Wait, does the front man have the same issue?
Yes, and that's what makes this so incredible. In season 2, there's this flashback scene where we actually see the front man refusing milk. And you might think like, okay, maybe this is just a coincidence, right? But lactose intolerance is actually it's genetic. You know what I mean?
So, there's something else that's been really bugging me about Ilnam. Like, during the games, did you notice how he acted kind of weird around Gi-hun?
Oh, yes. This is one of the most telling aspects of their relationship. And when you really look at it closely, Ilnam's behavior is just, it's fascinating, right? Like, take the tug of war game, for example.
What happened there? I mean, besides the obvious.
So, and this is really interesting. Ilnam specifically makes sure that Gi-hun ends up on his team, right? And and not only that, but he actually shares this incredibly valuable strategy about winning tug of war. Like, this is literally life-saving information that he could have kept to himself. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't he want his own team to win anyway?
Well, yes, but there's more to it than that. See, throughout the games, Ilnam consistently he keeps positioning himself near Gi-hun. And during that marbles game, this is where it gets really interesting. When Ilnam loses, he actually chooses to let Gi-hun win.
That always felt kind of strange to me.
Exactly. Because if you think about it, if Ilnam is really the mastermind behind everything, he could have easily won that game, right? But instead, he basically sacrifices himself. And if you look at it from the perspective of him being Ji-hun's father, suddenly all these little moments of protection, they start making so much more sense. You know what I mean?
Like he was watching over him the whole time?
Yes, and it's almost like he was testing Ji-hun too, right? Like he wanted to see what kind of person his son had become, but at the same time, he couldn't help but try to protect him whenever he could.
All right, so let's talk about the front man for a second. His apartment was like really strange, wasn't it?
Yes. The apartment is it's actually one of the most revealing pieces of evidence we have, and what's fascinating is what's not there, right? Like the whole place is just it's completely bare except for these medals and some photos. Um,
That seems kind of sad, doesn't it?
exactly. And what's really interesting is how this emptiness, this kind of deliberately stripped down existence, it mirrors Ilnam's own way of distancing himself from his family. You know what I mean? Like it's almost uh as if the front man is trying to erase his past completely.
So you're saying all these little details, they point to something bigger?
Yes, because when you put it all together, the bare apartment, the almost intuitive connection with Ilnam, their similar approaches to running the games, it really starts painting this picture of a hidden family dynamic that explains so much about both characters.
So, um, when we look at everything we've talked about today, what do you think this theory means for the whole story of Squid Game?
Oh my goodness. It completely transforms everything we thought we knew about the show, right? Like if this theory is true and Gi-hun really is Ilnam's son and the front man is his brother, then what we're actually watching isn't just a survival game show anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. It becomes this incredibly twisted family drama, right? Like you've got this father figure, Ilnam, who's basically orchestrated this whole elaborate test for his sons, and it's absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
Oh, so it's more personal than we thought?
Exactly, exactly. Because now every single interaction between these characters carries so much more weight. You know what I mean? Like when Ilnam lets Ji-hun win at marbles, that's not just a random act of kindness anymore. It's literally a father's final gift to his son,
It's, that's actually really dark when you put it that way.
right? And the whole conflict between Ji-hun and the frontman in season 2, it becomes this epic struggle between brothers who don't even know they're related. It's absolutely fascinating how it adds these layers of tragedy to everything.
Before we wrap up, what should our listeners do if they want to learn more about this theory?
Oh, definitely, definitely follow us here on Upwards Reels. We're going to be diving into more theories just like this one, and we'd love to hear what everyone thinks about this in the comments. Like, did we miss any clues? Are there other connections we should explore? Because this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Squid Game theories.